this is something I want to ask you, D. Have you, for me, I have this thing where like there's a special type of performance, okay? You have like I picture like John Legend or Elton John, Alicia Keys, like the piano is like the forefront of the embarrassing phone call ringing during the podcast. I'm gonna have to start over, so sorry.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. You're not wrong.
That is hilarious.
Oh, we should keep that. That's beautiful.
You're not wrong. Okay, we're muted here as well. We're good.
It's real life, folks. It's real life.
That's right. This is how this works.
This is how this works. Luckily, I have the power to cut if I need to.
Snip, snip.
However, here's my big thought. So I have this thing where I love these performances where it's like one person at a piano in front of like a grand audience, like big stage. And it's like, I think of like John Legend, Elton John, Alicia Keys. And this stuff just like, I love it. Even if it doesn't stay there, I just love like spotlights flashing down on the piano. And it's just like raw, the voice and the keys, whether the big band comes in later, whatever. But that's like one of my favorite types of performances, actually. I just really love those things. And today I'm really excited because we're talking to Michael McCaslin, who actually is one of the owners of a company that's making this possible, that sort of look, that sort of performance I just described, possible for people who are maybe not able to transport a whole grand piano or maybe grand
they don't have
on
the Elton
site
John budget
from venue to venue. Yeah, they don't have that budget. So now there's this thing. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's cool as ever, where you can have your keyboard and fit it to like a piano shell, making it possible to get that look.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That's what we make. And
let's talk about it.
Yeah, very humble beginnings, in fact. Thank you, Anthony and Dee, for having me on.
Pleasure.
Yeah. So Dolly Parton actually is my favorite, most recent
there
one.
You go. Okay.
Yeah, Dolly Parton was on stage during the Cowboys halftime show last Thanksgiving, and beautiful white piano right there on stage. And how else are you gonna drag it out into the middle of a 50-yard line?
Yeah, no kidding.
Without it being hollow. I don't know. It sounds like my back hurts thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, but that's what we do. We make hollow pianos.
Very cool.
For that very thing.
One of those things that sounds so simple, like, yeah, of course, why wouldn't you? You got to carry this thing around. Like you mentioned, the 50-yard line, you're not going to have, the capacity to be lugging this massive, full grand piano in. But you mentioned humble beginnings, so I'd love to hear what that means and what that looks like for your company. Like, how did this start? How did you get this idea? And
I got to admit, the idea wasn't mine. There were those before me. But there was one particular style that a fellow dueling piano player had made for him by just a mom and pop wood shop, a cabinetry shop even, and he just showed him kind of what he wanted, and he shows me this thing, and I'm like, now that's pretty cool. I like these ideas. And I had floated some ideas in my own head, but this one was pretty spot on.
Okay.
And a lot of what I made is what I've come up with through the years is based off of that. But then there's always been input. Also, I had one of my very first customers say, you know what, I need something more with the legs than just a flat rectangular leg. I need some more embellishments, something more to it. And it was through his nudging that okay, well, we're gonna make this change, and we're gonna change the process just a little bit until it ends up becoming what it is now.
And how long did the whole process actually take for you to feel confident to use your prototype and actually sell it out into the public?
Oh, Wow, that came in phases. Okay, well, I made the first one in 2001,
Right.
and I made four of them, and two of the I've sold all four of them.
Nice.
This is within the last couple of years. Even I used them.
Wow.
Just the first set I ever made. One set was sold a while ago, and it's I don't know where it is now. But the set that I just recently parted with is still being used by another dueling piano player. It's still in use. It's almost 25 years old.
Wow.
So that's impressive.
Yeah, it's still out there. Now sure, the current design's a lot different as far as the way that we build them, but the concept and the strength and the overall idea is still the same.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what's changed since you mentioned that, like the way that you started building them versus now 20 some years later?
I would say you find as you go, when you start, what you have available to you is a big box Home Depot style warehouse that you can go into.
Okay.
And you could buy your off the shelf materials. And they're okay.
Okay.
But they're not what you end up needing when you start needing bunks of lumber. I go through bunks of plywood every month, and as opposed to cutting it out with a jigsaw and a flush cut router by hand, which I used to do.
Wow.
I don't know if you can hear the hum in the background, but there's a CNC machine running. Yeah.
Okay.
It does it all now. So,
Nice.
I think phase one was probably figuring out the right materials to use to get the perfect balance between weight and quality. Because you could buy interestingly enough, the cheaper material weighs less. And you would think, well, I'll get the cheaper material and it won't be as heavy. Only it's also, it has voids in it, the plywood itself. And it's, it's more likely in temperature swings to get wavy or to buckle. And I just want the best, I just want the best materials that we could do. The legs are made of solid wood. They're solid poplar throughout. And that's just one of the things that we changed along the way. We said, that we're going to do this. I made the lathe that cuts the tenon on the leg. I mean, I made it from parts. I made it from nothing.
Oh God, you created
yeah.
that.
So, and I have one worker in particular he likes that machine. It's his favorite because he puts his little earbuds on and then the headphones on, and then he just does his thing. Yeah. It's his thing. It's so cool. We have a couple of different workers that are here, that high schoolers. Those are hit or miss.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Hopefully more hit than miss.
Yeah. But the changes in materials, the differences in developing relationships with your vendors is something that was a big hurdle to get through, because you could say, well, I'll go start my own business up with what lumber, with what laminate material, adhesives. You still need delivery drivers and ways to move your products in and out of your shop. There's a lot that goes on.
It's a whole machine.
It's a thing.
Yeah, you hit on some stuff that I wouldn't even consider in the production of your keyboards or your piano. Sorry, but
Shells,
how long, when you went from the beginning, how long does it take to produce one now, and how long did it take for the first couple, maybe 10? Like, what's the turnaround time now as opposed to what it used to be, say, 10, 15
I was
years
wondering
ago?
that too.
I like that question. Yeah, all right. Well, I got little American fingers, let me tell you. So I'll be honest. When we first started,
Yep.
we might have sold 20 in a year. And
Okay.
and this is even after I built them for I would build them for myself, or then I would build them for a co-worker of sorts. He has his own dueling pianos troupe, and he was working out west, and he was really the first real customer of mine, Sam Ferguson. He won't mind me saying his name. He'll like that.
Shout out to Sam.
And,
Shout out.
Sure. Shout out to Sam. And he was also the inspiration for the nicer upgraded legs that fit the actual, an actual acoustic piano more precisely, because that's what we're going for. We're trying to mimic that look.
Yeah.
And so he's part of he was the inspiration for that bit. And he's bought at least 18, 20 of them over the years.
Oh, wow.
But probably the first 6 or so he purchased for his troops out west and in West United States. And he's still actually he has 2 of them here that he needs to pick up.
Pick up if you're
Sam,
listening.
hey, I got your pianos here. Yeah, your order's ready. And so he's one of the people that got me started. And
nice.
and now and those pianos were made as I mentioned. I had cut out a template and sanded it down nice and made the curves, the way you want them to be, and as close as possible. And then I used that template, made a pencil line around it on a fresh piece of stock, cut wide with the jigsaw, put the template back on, put the flush cut router bit in the router, and go around it again. Yeah. And then it sand that up, and that was how it used to be done. And I might have made 20 or so the first few years. Fast forward to now, we might do 300 in a year.
Oh, big jump.
Yeah, I hope so this year.
Wow.
We do have a couple of customers, some clients that they're ordering our pianos that are a little more customized, and then we send them out. We send them out unbranded, but they still count in our list.
Of course. The
output is still there.
It's still there, right?
Yeah, the serial number's still in our books, boys.
Yes.
But that's if this year pans out the way it's looking right now. We're able to do that, and it was just me. It was just me. Just starting off, and now I have a part-time adult. He's in his 40s, so I trust him, and he comes in. You're right. He comes in and he'll do Saturdays. And he's been on it long enough now that I can have a pile of things for him to do, and he'll get through it.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I may not have to be here. In fact, same
working
guy.
that.
Once you get the workers to where you could just kind of point and grunt, that is that is fantastic. That's wonderful. Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, and
that's funny.
Every worker's different. The learning curve,
sure.
It maybe takes them a little longer to get to that grunt stage,
The grunt stage, I like that.
The grunt stage. Yeah. But
how hard was that for you to take your hands off of it?
Like to let go. That's
start delegating. Yeah.
That's still working on it.
This is your baby.
That's your baby. Oh, it was hard to do. There's still times when I gotta kind of elbow in, and give me that file.
Standards.
Let me give me the scraper. Let me go. My favorite one is give me the paint roller because you're making a mess. That's one.
Wow.
Yeah. Give me the paint roller. You're making a mess.
Common.
Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, especially the newbies. This, drips and runs everywhere, and I gotta go back behind them. And granted, what we paint is the underside and the inside, just to kind of hide the shadows. But
it's not seen.
Still, there's customers looking at this. It matters.
Yeah. And I imagine your customers are pretty specific about the look that they're going for and things like that. Do you get any strange requests? Like anything that, I know you probably have a whole bunch of like standards, but you mentioned the customization. Is there anything that stands out at least?
There've been a couple. We just did one for Christopher Cross and his crew.
Okay.
And they wanted their piano to match their drum kit, which was a purple sparkle Gretsch. Ooh. And we ended up getting nice. Oh man, it's sweet. And we did end up with a picture of it set up on the stage along with the drum kit, and it matches perfectly.
Nice. Wow,
and
beautiful.
Yeah, it looks sweet. So I couldn't have been happier. And it came in smaller panels than what we're used to, and that meant quite a few more seams. But you can't see them. It turned out perfect. They raved about it. So amazing. real happy with that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I guess just thinking still on along the lines of clients, do you have like a typical type of client or is it like a range? Is it all over the place?
Well, one of you mentioned that there were different expectations from customers, and that is true. There's a wide range of what the customers are looking for. Yeah. Sometimes that's easy to vet out, and other times it's more difficult. We have customers that are anything from behind me is a homeowner that wanted a piece of furniture in their home, and they happen to be a piano player.
Okay.
And right now she has a keyboard, and she loves her keyboard, and she doesn't want to get rid of her keyboard, but she also wanted her piano shell to go around it to match it perfectly, because this is the kind of person that's probably not going to change their keyboard over the years. So right. I did an actual a glued out. They just kind of built the sides out to match the width of her keyboard, and it's going out. So she's going to be happy with that.
That's exciting, yeah.
And so you got homeowners like her that are these are folks that are going to have company over. And this is going to be something that's spotlighted in their home that is a talking piece. And so these are the discerning customers that want. They're picky. On the other hand, we sell to some backline companies that set up for big shows. And these companies, there's lights all over the stage flashing and moving and shadows everywhere. And no one's going to notice a tiny hairline scratch on on the top of the lip. No one will ever see that. They got dancers tap dancing on the thing. For crying out loud, So it's not like so big wide range. Everything from homeowners. I have a church behind me. I got dueling pianos behind me. I have that homeowner behind me, and then another solo. Katie's getting one. Is having us do a custom logo for hers. So customizations, everything from finishes to logos to. What else have we done? We've
cool range, yeah.
Yeah, we've had customers. Well, this church behind me is doing 2 keyboards. So they have a keyboard that currently is just sitting on I think it's sitting on top of the other keyboard, and halfway on the buttons and such. Yeah. So one keyboard, like an organ player, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, they may have come from organ beginnings. I guess I don't ask the customers any questions. That's the other boss's job.
Got you.
They just have me touch the pianos and do mostly that. I'm surprised they let me talk to you, frankly.
Oh, we're glad they did. So is that a 2-layer piano shell that you're making, or?
Yeah, so it is.
Okay.
I don't know if you see it behind me. There's a shelf in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's you could put your piano, your main piano on the bottom, and then they had a 61.
Like
it wasn't even full
keyboard.
key. Then
Yeah,
they I said, send me a picture of your setup, and they take a picture. I'm like, okay, I'll build you that. Only
that's
it'll
cool.
be put together nicer and
Customization,
yeah, exactly. It's gonna fit all your gadgets the way that it's gonna make it look nice.
Yeah. So it's for almost everybody.
Yeah.
Really cool.
That's what we're going for.
I
Yeah,
love
no
it.
kidding.
I love it. So I guess just a couple more things here. Oh,
No worries. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
Shalom. Yeah, so just a couple more things here. I know you got to run, get some more shells made and satisfy some more clientele, but I am wondering, I know you might have touched on it a little earlier, who is this for? I mean, I know there's a wide range, but like your typical client, or like, is there anyone? Like, we have a lot of listeners who are musicians in all different capacities, so maybe you could speak on that.
Sure. Yeah. It started out mostly focused on portability, mobility, making it so that one person by themselves could get something that looks like a piano in and out of a vehicle,
right,
that is maybe a hatchback or larger, and drag it through a doorway, a human-sized doorway into an establishment. You gotta dodge all the tables and chairs getting in there, and you don't really want to mess with them because the staff will give you the dirty looks that you can't believe. Yeah. And then you only have this area that's about 5 feet by 5 feet to set up in, and somehow you gotta do this. And how do you do it? How do you make it work? Right. And that's how I got started, because that was me. But fast forward now, and it went from, well, I want mine to be a little bit bigger. Okay. I want mine to be bigger still. Well, do you make one that's the size of a baby grand? And maybe the answer at the time was, well, not yet.
Yeah.
And then it was, well, I bought this expensive piano. It's gorgeous, and it's light, and I can move it, but I don't have any way to protect it while it's being moved. Do you make cases?
That's right. Yep.
Now I have to figure out how to do cases. Oh, and you know what? Good luck to the competition finding competent case manufacturers, because wow, we went through a few.
I can imagine.
And yeah, it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
And now we can make our current newest product is a full size. We're going after Slam Grand. There you go. There's another name drop. That's one of our competitors.
Let's go.
You know what? They make fantastic stuff. I got no complaints, but it's all heavy. It's all heavy, and they're selling to the Katy Perrys of the world, and these acts that they can afford to hire stagehands that can move something that weighs 600 pounds.
Yeah, heavy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they could be that heavy if they're the size of our newest stuff, which is we had a customer ask for finally a 9-footer. And we're gonna make it, and they want a road case to match. So
it's a big case.
That's a monster. It's a monster. Yeah. So yeah, and you're not gonna roll this into a minivan.
That's gonna be a little different transportation setup.
Yeah, these are the folks that have the big semi trailers. So
yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That covers everybody, and I'm glad that you explained it that way, because you painted the picture of who this is for really well. Someone who's doing a corporate gig or a bar gig, even, like, there's no limitations. You mentioned churches earlier.
There are none. We sold a set to a church that was both an upright style and a grand piano style.
Very cool.
So I think they replaced both an organ and a piano. So yeah, lots of we make all kinds of pianos.
That's really cool.
So you sell to a lot of churches. Surprisingly, you'd think that they would just have traditional pianos. I'm shocked that churches seem to be one of your clients.
I think when it comes down to it, if the church, a lot of our churches here will have extra instrumentation, so guitar, bass, and they're going to struggle to stay in tune with an out of tune piano. A lot of the smaller churches find it's better off to use a keyboard. For that very reason, not to mention amplification. Yeah, I don't know how many of you have ever tried to microphone mic a piano. They're not the funnest.
Not fun at all. Yeah.
No, they're terrible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it gives you I guess it lets you have the sound that you're going for, and also the look that classic grand piano look on stage.
Right. So really lot less hassle. Amplification, and maintenance, keeping it tuned up. If you only have to pay for it once, you don't have to call in any kind of maintenance over the years. Yeah. So lot of pluses. And I think that's about all of the different ranges we do restaurants and hotels from time to time, resorts and casinos, man, you name it.
I guess anywhere where there would be a piano required or wanted.
Yep. Schools building new auditoriums.
Theaters. The way that the future's here.
Yeah, theaters.
The future is here, folks.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
I have another question. I don't know if you have one more, 2D, but for anyone like myself now who is very interested in actually ordering one of these things, what is the typical turnaround time?
Well, in order to be able to go from making 20 to 300, we can move them along pretty quick.
I imagine.
If you want something that looks like it looks on our website, we could probably turn that around in 3 weeks or so.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be longer.
That's great.
Yeah, it's not bad. If you want custom finishes, that'll really make a change. We have to order the finishing material, and just getting a special order finish could take 6 weeks by itself. So, you got to get your order in if you know what you want. That's for sure.
Let's go. You heard it from the man himself. If you're ready for one of these things, I guess the last thing we need to do is let people know where they can order, where they can find you online, social media, whatever you're using.
Yeah, we're at keyholeshells.com. Pretty easy to find us online there, and get on our mailing list so that you can see updates, specials. We have new products we roll out all the time that might help out your rig.
Nice.
So look us up.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah,
we really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, man. And I'm dying to see one in real life. I don't know if you've ever got the chance to see one, Anthony, but I'd love to see one.
Well, we're gonna talk, man. I told you I gotta place an order.
Okay.
I'm an easy sell, and kind of wanted one anyway. So talking to you.
Oh, hey.
So
edit me to look good, and we'll hook you up somehow. You
came in ready, so I guess we're done. Check.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Anthony and D.
Yeah. Thanks
no
again.
problem,
Thank you very much.
Until next time, everybody.